What's going on, everybody? Hey, this is your boy JC from JC Eagles Talk. And guess what? The bye week is over with. Thank God. But at the same time, I'm glad we went in the bye week at the exact time because we was facing some injuries. But we about to get into that. But without further ado, hey, let me introduce my guest, Mr. Robbie Duncan. Hey, just let them know a little bit about yourself, how long you've been a Redskins fan, and anything else you want them to know about you.
Sure. Born and raised Washington fan, and played high school football and onward into college, and had the benefit of playing with Taylor Heineke in college at
Wow.
ODU, at Old Dominion University. So that's been kind of being a Washington fan and having played with him. It's pretty cool for me to be able to watch him every day, or not every day, every Sunday as a member of the football team. So that's pretty cool, and really surreal every time. It still doesn't quite hit home that the guy I played with in college, kind of overlooked, is now the starting quarterback for my favorite team. So I'm enjoying the ride as long as it's going to last.
So, what position did you play in college?
I was an offensive lineman. I played pretty much every position except center. I wasn't the greatest center in the world. I mean, I could do everything you needed to except snap it consistently. So that didn't work out. But I was pretty good at guard and tackle. So
Was Heineke the starter back then, or no? Was he the starter, or when did he become a starter?
So what happened was I was there when Old Dominion first started up as a football program. I was there from 2008 to 2012, and those first two seasons, our starting quarterback was his name was Thomas DeMarco. He was a transfer from college, or from JUCO, out from California, and he was really good. We were pretty successful with him, and then one game we were playing UMass, and he got hurt pretty badly, and Taylor was a redshirt freshman that year, so he was brand new. He wasn't supposed to play that year, but they threw him in after that injury and just ran away with the position, and the rest was history, so to speak. He went on to win the Walter Payton Award, which is, for that level of college football, is the Heisman, basically. So we had a lot of success, and he was pretty darn good college quarterback. So I'm glad to see that it translated to the next level for him.
Well, all right. So, I mean, do you stay in contact? I mean, do you text him and say, "What? Hey, guy. Hey, what you doing to my team here? Hey, what's going on, man? Hey, could you, like, how does that work? I mean, hey, you was an offensive line, he was a quarterback. I mean, was you all friends back then, or what?
I mean, we were cool, but I wouldn't say I was part of his inner circle, and that's no big deal. I try to reach out every now and then, but I know he's getting, I'm sure his phone's getting blown up every day, no matter what he does out
Facts.
there. So
Yeah,
I tend to just let him be and let him do his thing instead of trying to bug him and reach out for any kind of thing I can get. So I'm cool with that.
Hey, you better than me, man. If I went to school with anybody from the Philadelphia Eagles, man, yo, I'm calling them all the time. I'm like, hey, man, yo, I'm behind you. I appreciate you, but you gotta pick this crap up. Or, hey, you did a good job. Or, hey, don't worry about the fans. Do not look at Twitter right now because you are trending for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
All
By the
that
way,
good stuff.
y'all got our long snapper, Old Dominion, Rick Lovato. I played with him too.
Oh, look at that.
Rick
Okay.
Lovato. Yep.
Well,
So
thank
there's
you
another
for him.
connection.
Well, yeah, thank you for him. Hey, I appreciate you.
No
All
problem.
right, so hey, let's get into it. The injury report. As far as the Philadelphia Eagles go, the last time I saw the injury report, what I watched the injuries was against the Jets. With 5 or 6 minutes left, with even under 2 minutes left, our center got hurt, and Jason Kelsey. We don't know his status yet. Nick Sirianni said he might be ready to go, but we don't know yet. Miles Sanders was having a career day, the first Eagles to rush for over 100 yards and over basically a whole season. He got hurt with about 5 minutes left. But besides that, I mean, Quez Watkins yesterday got put on the COVID list and stuff like that. So I'm pretty sure that y'all dealing with that too. But besides the injury, I mean, we should be okay. But tomorrow we will really tell, because that's when these guys go back to practice after having about 10 days off. Literally, just I'm hoping icing and ice bath every day and stretching and massages, the good massage. every day, and and make sure that they are ready for this upcoming game.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. So as far as injuries, what is going on your side of the ball?
Washington's banged up pretty bad, and not even talking about the whole COVID thing going on that just sprang up over the weekend. Guys are hurt every week. It seems like I don't have the full injury report, but I do have. Besides the injury report, I do have the list of everybody that's been tested positive for COVID in the last couple days. So
Mhm.
it's Montez Sweat, James
Mm.
Smith Williams, Casey Toohill, Jonathan Allen, Tim Settle, Khaleke Hudson, David Mayo, Kendall Fuller, William
Holy,
Bradley King, and backup tight end Tamarik Hemingway. So,
holy crap!
mhm.
God, oh wow!
so
Like is half of them a starter? I know that Sweat and Allen is, but I mean, as far as
James Smith
everybody
Williams
else,
and Casey Toohill were our starting DNs once Sweat and Young got
mhm.
hurt. So them being out with is a big problem. Our depth at the end is toast because William Bradley King was the other guy that played a lot for us against Dallas, and now he's tested positive. So we're really hurting at the end right now. Plus, I mean, losing Jonathan Allen in the middle is terrible. It's
Yeah,
devastating. But I think the good thing with him is that he is vaccinated. So if as long as he's not showing symptoms, I think
yeah,
it's like 2 or 3 positive or negative tests in a row, then he'll be fine. But who knows with that?
yeah.
And
That's
then
what I'm about to ask you. Like, I mean, out of all those players that you just listed, I mean, as long you are vaccinated, that they say,
mhm.
within 24 hours, if you get about 2 negative COVID tests, boom, and you're good to go. So, I mean, it's like half of them. Do you know if they are vaccinated or not?
The only one I know for sure that is unvaccinated is Montez Sweat. He infamously went viral for his comments about not getting the vaccine, and that kind of blew up in his face a little bit. But he was supposed to play against Dallas and then tested positive, and that's what happened there. And he's probably not going to be able to play against Philly because of that as well. It's got to be 10 days since he's unvaccinated. Um,
Yeah, facts.
Allen is vaccinated, like I said, so he could play, but it depends on how he tests. The rest of the guys, I'm not sure. The other big loss with this COVID list is Kendall Fuller. I mean, he's arguably our best.
Well, yeah, he
He's
is.
our best corner with, and he's very multi talented in what he can do in the back end. So that's another big loss for us if he can't play. So I'm not sure exactly whether he's vaccinated or not, but either way, it's not good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So every Philly fan wants to know this. Who's y'all starting quarterback? Is it Heineke? Is Allen? Like, who is going to play on Sunday? I mean, have you heard anything?
From what Ron Rivera said, it's not going to be Kyle Allen. That if Taylor Heineke is healthy, it's going to be Taylor, and then that's that. I mean, he basically insinuated that there was no controversy, and that Taylor's the guy going forward as long as he's healthy. I mean, that could change, depending on how things play out the rest of the season. But as things are right now, it's still Taylor Heineke.
All right, all right. Hey, before we move on, hey, shout out to everybody that's in the chat. Tia, Jadis, my guy, Philly Talk Podcast. He's in the chat. Um, Nina, hey, just shout out to all y'all. Jay Milton, it was going on, fellas. Ready for the bird to hit that field on Sunday? Yes, we are. Yes, we are ready, man. Yeah, like I never thought on a bye week that I'd be so bored. These games on Sunday, besides the last couple seconds on in certain games, you're like, oh my god, see what's going on. Like I missed my birds playing on Sunday, man. Like I was so bored that I was watching the Atlanta Falcons game versus Carolina Panthers because that was the closest game at that time. Even y'all game. I started with y'all game. As a matter of fact, we gotta get into y'all game real quick. Like we really, really have to get into your game. But hey, I'm about to ask you this: what was the reason for your slow start to the season? I think y'all started like 2-5, just like Philly did, but y'all won like 5 out of 6 or whatever it is. When y'all went against Dallas, y'all was 4 in a row. So what was the reason because y'all ended last season, man, playoff, and y'all barely lost to the Super Bowl champs, the Tampa Bay Bucks. I'm thinking that y'all about to come into this season one quarterback away. Ryan Fitzmagic, Tragic, Patrick, whatever name you want to call him. Hey, he got brought in as a free agent. And guess who was favored to win the NFC least, they call it? The Washington football team. And then y'all come out the first 6, 7 games of the season, and y'all look like what WTF. Instead of Washington football team WFT, it was like WTF. What is going on? Like, what was the reason for this slow start?
It was the defense in the grand scheme of things. I mean, the hype was real for them after what they did last year, and then they just did not play well. We did not expect the offense to be, this high-powered, high-scoring offense, but we expected the defense to at least keep us in these games, and they just were not getting it done at all. And our D-line wasn't getting a lot of pressure. We were getting some up front with Jonathan Allen and Ioannidis and Payne, but Jace Young and Montez Sweat, they were kind of just underwhelming, and Young especially was just really kind of out there and not really being that impactful like we thought he should be. And then the secondary was getting just torched in the back end, lack of communication. It just seemed like everything was just totally unorganized and not executing at the level they should be. And then it seems like things kind of turned around a little bit. I'm not sure what they did over the bye week before the Buccaneers game, but since then, defensively, it's been a lot better. Even with that loss to Dallas, I mean, they held their own really well against Dak and that offense. I mean, our offense put them in a horrible spot every time. I mean, they couldn't get anything
we definitely
going.
going to get into that. Well, we definitely going to talk about your offense.
Yep.
But the thing, so y'all defense, did y'all fire anybody on the defensive side? What was the reason that the defense came out like that? Or it was just like, hey, we won the NFC East last year, and hey, we're just going to come out and just show up and then not put in the work in the offseason. What was the reason? Because there's no way that y'all could have, because last year y'all played for Ron Rivera. You know what I mean? Hey, God bless him. He beat cancer. I would play for Ron Rivera. You know what I mean? So, I feel like that last year that these guys were playing for Ron. You know what I mean? Just playing for Ron, their heart and soul, every snap on the defensive side, and they became dominant towards the end of the tail end of the season. But I feel like in the off season that they feel like, hey, we won the NFC East. We hung in there with the Super Bowl champs, and hey, we are good. And they did not put in the work to get better.
Yeah.
And it feels like, hey, they're just going to step on the field and boom, just going to pick up where they left at the last season.
I think what really kind of played a role was injuries that changed things a lot. Like once Sweat and Young got hurt, Del Rio didn't feel like he could just trust them to get home. And I think that was really what was going on. He was very basic. I thought everything was very vanilla. And he was just trusting that front four would be just disruptive on their own. And it just wasn't quite working out. And then once those guys got hurt, we had injuries in the linebacker core as well. They moved Landon Collins down to play like a hybrid. And that's really worked out. Landon Collins has been pretty impactful at that spot. So I think it really just came down to him being a little more creative and kind of mixing and matching the personnel to put these guys, lower depth guys in better positions. And these guys actually playing their role and not trying to improvise or just play out of the scheme or out of the system, so to speak. So I think that's kind of what was going on with Sweat and Young. They were trying to get by with their talent alone and not really and stick to what the system's asking them to do.
Yeah, I mean, look, I agree. So did the whole of Ryan Kerrigan hurt y'all at all? I mean, he did leave in the offseason and sign with the Philadelphia Eagles. He was y'all leading tackler in Washington football history. He probably still is. Did that have something to do with it as far as the defensive line? I know he wasn't getting a lot of snap, but still, just the name alone, with with all your first round picks on your defensive line, or nah, you was like, nah, that wasn't reason at all.
I'll
Nah.
counter that question by asking you a question.
Don't ask me that question. Trash. He's been trash so far. Trash. So wait,
So
was that your question?
that's your answer. That's your answer. Yes.
But aha! I'm hoping that he is Sunday. He's going against his former team. That will be the day he get 3-4 sacks. Hey, I don't look.
He used to do that against you guys.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So yes, he's been quiet all year, and I'm very, very, with a lot of Eagle fans are disappointed. Like we thought that we was getting, he played what, a 35% of the snaps last and had 5.5 sacks. And I'm like, oh my God, hey, we had a guy that played 100% of the snaps. He got 5 sacks. Oh my, this is an upgrade. We're not even asking him to start. We are not even asking him to start.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like that he's not motivated, or he lost a step. Maybe that's why Washington let him go. I'm not sure, but I really have to wait until this Sunday to see, because Barnett, he's but Kerrigan been playing. He just haven't been. He been close, but he has not been getting to the quarterback like we know the Ryan Kerrigan to get to the quarterback.
Yeah, and I think what played a role. I think we wanted to keep Kerrigan, but he also wanted to be a starter still, and that's why we weren't able to keep him. We had Montez Sweat and Chase Young, and 3 other D tackles that are still in the mix and got to be part of the rotation. And then we had James Smith-Williams and Casey Toohill, who we stole from you guys off your practice squad last year. And
we drafted him. I believe. Yeah, we drafted him.
7th-round draft pick, I think.
Yep, we drafted him.
And from what I remember, you guys were upset about losing him.
Yeah.
So, and I think what really played a role was just what they thought they had with him and James Smith-Williams as key depth guys that pretty what's the A+ athletes. They were pretty good athletes and can get after it, and a lot cheaper. To keep Kerrigan would have cost a lot more money to keep him while having to pay other guys. So it just made sense from a business perspective to let him go on and do what he felt was best for him.
Yeah, hey, he signed with Philly for like $5 million or less, like a 1 year. I'm like, oh my God, we got to steal.
Yeah,
like we got to steal.
I think he was expecting to get starter money and just never happened. So then he had to settle for what he could get. So, it was a good contract for you guys, and it's kind of surprising that he hasn't been like he was for us last year.
Hey, maybe this is the game to start his engine.
I can see it.
The next 4 games is all the divisional games for the Philadelphia Eagles. Mm-hmm. The Washington football team, Giants, the Washington football team, and the Dallas Cowboys. This will be a dream scenario from 2019 where we was in the exact position where we had to win out to get in, and we had all divisional games with the Giants, with the Redskins at the time, the Giants again, and then the Dallas Cowboys. And we just had to run the table, and we did. So I'm hoping it's kind of like repeat of 2019, but we will see, one game at a time. Right now, we focus on, I know, rest in peace, the Washington football team from last Sunday. But let's talk about that. What happened? All right, so what was yesterday, which was Sunday, what was the biggest reason why? Because your defense was dominating the past 4 games, and y'all beat Tom Brady, and then y'all beat
Russell Wilson and
Russell Wilson came after Cam Newton.
Cam Newton, yeah.
So y'all beat Tom Brady, Cam Newton, Russell Wilson,
and David Carr.
And exactly. Yeah, exactly. We lost to them and y'all beat them. So that time, y'all defense was dominating. The Washington football fan base was on high. We won Dallas, like chanting during the game, and y'all got Dallas.
We did.
And Dallas, I hate the Cowboys, man. You know what I mean? I can't stand them. I would never cheer for them. I would have cheered for y'all than them. But what happened? Like, was it offense, defense? Was y'all not prepared? Because the first half was like 24-0 at halftime, right?
Mm-hmm.
I watched up to that. I'm like, I'm done. So what happened? Like,
It was the offense, man. It was the offense, and really it came down to execution. Um, like the first turnover we had was on a tunnel screen to DeAndre Carter, which would have been a touchdown if it got completed. Charles Leno had a cut block Randy Gregory, and Gregory just didn't go down. He stayed up, tipped the ball, caught it, and interception. You think
yeah,
about you think about what, well, if he didn't tip it, then you're talking about a touchdown, and the whole game's totally different. And then same thing for the second turnover. It was 4th and 3, I think, 4th and 3, and they run a mesh concept, and Curtis Samuel's running across on a drag, but kind of something got a little jumbled up, got messed up, and
yeah.
it caused Taylor Heineke to hesitate and kept drifting back in the pocket, and he got sacked by Micah Parsons because he took too long and kept drifting. And there's your fumble and scoop and score for a touchdown, just like
You
that.
see,
It's
but
nothing.
like it seemed like it was like I saw a stat that popped up that Heineken was like 2 for 10. Like, I mean, he wasn't getting the time. Like, I mean, we we are going to talk about your offensive line. I mean, the
Mhm.
strength and weakness, but I'm just trying to see like it seemed like either his confidence was shot from the minute they say go, or something on the offense line was not clicking. Like,
It was a
and
combination of things. The O line was getting beat. Taylor was taking too long. The receivers weren't getting open. You take away Terry McLaurin, who else is going to make a play? You don't have Logan Thomas out there,
yeah,
so it was a combination of a lot of things. It wasn't one particular thing. Like again, it was started from the front where they were getting abused at times or out schemed and against their protection. Taylor being not confident or hanging on to the ball too long, receivers not getting open. It just didn't work out this time on offense. And if it did, I mean, you saw what the defense was doing against Dallas. They kept us in it for the most part. I mean, they
it
were
did.
they were put in horrible positions because of the offense, and they, for the most part, did their job. I mean, they're the reason why we almost came back and stole that game from Dallas, and we came a play away. If Kyle Allen didn't do that weird little fumble thing, then we had a game-winning drive going. So it came down to execution with those
Or
two
if
things.
Carter then dropped the pass,
Exactly.
DeAndre Carter, I think he is an ex-Eagle, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
He's been doing pretty good for y'all.
Yeah,
Especially in a return game.
he's leading the Pro Bowl voting, I think, in punt returner or kick
Is
returner, one of
he?
the two. Mm-hmm. Last I
God,
saw.
oh, come on, man. See, like, hey, Tio's like this. People leave us and get better. Leave being good and come to us hurt and worse. Like, it seems like that everybody that leave the Philadelphia Eagles, man, I'm going to keep it real. Like, DeAndre Carter, freaking Rashul Douglas from the Packers. I mean,
Aguilar's
and
done
that's an
pretty well.
Aguilar. Who?
I was saying Aguilar too. Yeah, he's done pretty
Yeah,
well.
yeah, Aguilar. Yeah. So everybody seemed to get better after they leave the Philadelphia Eagles, which kind of transition into this next question right here. Because where do you think the mindset of your like organization is at? Because I mean, it's been a lot. I feel sorry for y'all. Like, for real. Like, I mean, I thought our GM was bad, and Howie Roseman and all this stuff. But after this offseason and reading the stuff the past couple of years and seeing the stuff, the sewage leak, in y'all stadium. Heineken is picking up a freaking 10-inch blade, a scissors, off the field as he walked off the field this past Sunday. I mean, your owner is like trying to deny everything. I mean, so what is the mindset of this organization? Like, the fans, like, I mean, is he ever going to sell the team? Like, what would y'all want him to do in order to get this team back on track to being competitive in the NFC East?
I think from a football perspective, things are going pretty well. I mean, Ron's, doing a heck of a job
Yeah, yes.
keeping them, on a mission and focused, and trying to block out all the crazy stuff that goes on outside of the football aspect of the organization. So from that standpoint, we have hope. We like what Ron's doing to the team. He's changing the outside perspective of or perception of them. We're fighters. We stay in the game no matter what, and the culture seems to be really kind of taking place there. And I love Taylor. I played with him in college, and I think he's really made the strongest case that he's, arguably the best backup in the NFL right now with what he's been doing. So if we can get a quarterback that can really kind of elevate everything else, then you got really something going on the field. Now off the field, the more it changes, the more it stays the same at the same time because of the constant that is Dan Snyder. You can't do anything about him. There was a report that came out about him fighting the investigation of the team.
Yeah, today, right? Yeah, I saw that today
from the Washington Post. So there's more stuff coming out. The sexual abuse and sexual harassment stuff that's coming out from women in the organization or past employees that used to work there. It's all just a complete cluster, to put it mildly. And hopefully they do eventually release the emails and there can become some kind of real accountability.
But you just said that they can't really do nothing to him, right? So it's not like the LA Clippers. Remember the LA Clippers with their owner when he literally got voted out. So like, what could happen to Dan Snyder because he owned the team, like all of the team, right?
Yeah,
so what could they do then?
I don't know. That's the great question. All this trouble came up, and out of that, he got more power. FedEx or whatever the man's name that owns FedEx, he bowed out as a majority holder, and the other guy did too, and now he owns 100% of it. So he got even more powerful out of all this thing. So we're kind of just like, it is what it is at this point. Maybe something eventually happens, but we're not holding our breath anymore. We do like what we have with Jason Wright as the new president. He's also helping change the outside perception, even though it's a very hard job to do that because you're dealing with all that, crazy stuff going on. There was the snafu with the whole Sean Taylor thing. I don't know if you heard about that, but they retired his jersey. It was a very last minute. It was a very last minute announcement, and people were all upset. And it was also another cluster thing. And so it's been a whirlwind of just stuff you can't make up. It writes itself kind of thing. Like you can't even, if I was a comedian writing material, like I would just watch what happens in Washington and there you go. Like you have your own workplace, office style comedy to write based on that team alone.
Yeah. Look, hey, so I'm so grateful. Like the more I look at the Washington football team, yes, I know we joke around. Hey, did Washington football, no names, whatever it is. But, at the end of the day, those are still players and employees and fans of that team. So I do feel y'all, and I would hate to be in that situation. But, let's just change the mindset.
Yeah.
This whole thing. So are you, how many games have you been through this year, or are you going to any?
I haven't been to a live game since when was it? When it was back when we played the Browns at home. It was against Terrell Pryor when he was on the Browns.
What? That long ago?
Yeah, it's expensive, man. I don't. And plus,
but the Washington football is like a free ticket, man. They're giving free ticket out because I went in 2019. In 2019, because that was the year the Eagles had to win 4 games, like 4 divisional games in a row. And I went, and it was like probably like $100, a ticket, and very good seats at that. So I was like, oh shoot. And I was there, and it was more Eagle fans there. Like it seems like that every game that the opponent team fans take over that stadium. So yeah, I brought my ticket like the night before, like a Saturday night before the game, and I went there. I was like, oh man, these are some great seats. And I look around, and it was nothing but Eagle fans, So I was like, yes. So I'm hoping this year is the exact same thing. I'm hoping And that only if the Philadelphia Eagles beat y'all this Sunday, it probably will, because with the Dallas loss, with the Eagles loss, and y'all still gotta go to Dallas, and who know what might happen. So maybe, and I'm hoping, because I want to go to the game. You know what I mean? This will be my third game this year. I watched my Birds play, but yeah, man. I mean, anytime I try to get.
I used to be more inclined to try to go when I lived in Northern Virginia, which is like 30, 45 minutes away. But now I'm down in Hampton Roads in the Tidewater area, and that's a solid 4.5 hours away from there. So
okay.
So I don't go as much or try to. I was very tempted to go to this Dallas game, but then I saw the standing room only tickets were like $300. I was like,
what?
Nope.
What?
It was a very expensive game. Very expensive.
But
the value was sky high.
What? Yeah. See, if you look at the game, it was empty up top. Like, I mean, so I don't know.
People may have worked their way
31. Hey, probably. Burger 31 was like, hey, you're not bringing y'all benches to Philly, huh? Hey, I don't think that our owner would appreciate that. But how did y'all feel? Fans, or that the Dallas Cowboys, out of all teams, like, I don't care what other team does that, but the Dallas Cowboys, those annoying fans, those privileged 5 Super Bowl, cobweb fans, because they ain't see one in 25, 26 years, but still they think that they are privileged enough to bring their own seats. Like, when you heard that, like, what was going through your mind when you heard that?
I rolled my eyes like I'm doing right now. What I do appreciate from an outside looking in perspective, it kind of renewed the rivalry somewhat. Like, it's been kind of stale up to this point, and then they brought it back and brought the smoke this time around for that stuff. So that's cool. I like that. It makes the game more meaningful. And unfortunately, we didn't rise to that occasion, but. That's the kind of stuff that makes rivalries good. I'm not going to be butthurt about it or anything like that. I'm just, it's petty. It is what it is. I can't believe they actually let them do it, but
that's the thing. Yeah,
whatever.
I mean, yeah. Hey, look, we played them the last week of the season, and I'm hoping that my owner, Jeffrey Lurie, say, nope, you are not bringing these benches in here. I don't care if ours is broken. Hey, you're going to sit on this cold bench. That's a home field advantage. Who cares how cold the other team is? I don't care. No.
It was a 50-degree game. It was not even cold.
It was, because I was watching it, and at kickoff, I believe I saw like 45 degrees, this and that. But I'm not in all, pads and stuff like that. So, I could only imagine how those players was feeling at 47 degrees, hitting, running up and down the field. It probably felt like an 80-degree game to them. But I mean, look, the Dallas Cowboys, to me, are the most annoying fan base in the world, and they had nothing to live off but 5 crusty, rusted cobwebs ring. That's it. Like, what have they done lately? I don't know. So I was on y'all bandwagon, so I'm hoping in a couple weeks from now that y'all go to Dallas. I don't care if it's in the dome, and bring your own benches, like your own, like all the fans, and your own scoreboard. Hey, say, you know what? You could do that. I could do this too. You know what I mean? Just to show them that, hey, we're not going to take this. The rivalry has been ignite again. So let's go, because
I would consider doing that
game.
If we beat you guys, and then if we beat you guys and it's back at it again, then sure, bring that smoke again. But if we lose again, then it's kind of just like, all right, now you're trying too hard.
Well, I mean, look, if you lose to us, y'all 6-8. So I've always said that the last NFC team to get in the playoffs would be an 8-loss team. That means San Fran have to probably lose a couple, maybe 3 out of 4, to drop down out of the out of the 6th spot. Right now, they are in 6th place right now. So if they lose next week, look, the strangest thing has happened. So whoever loses this game still might be able to get into the playoffs. I
If,
believe so
yeah, there's
because
a
the
chance.
NFC West is a hard spot, but it'd be easier, if you just went out,
Mm-hmm.
and then control your own destiny,
Yep.
instead
And
of
that's what
trying to
we're doing
rely
right now.
on.
We hold that 7th spot, and as long as we win out, we'll be fine.
Y'all do. All right. So, all right. Hey, and let's get into the matchup. So, how are you feeling, about this upcoming matchup with the Eagles? Like, how are you? What's your gut feeling? Sent with all your peoples are out. Heineken is hurt. You don't know who's going to be starting at quarterback. So, what are you feeling? How are you feeling about this upcoming game?
You know, it depends on the offense. I feel like the defense, despite their injuries and who's been out there, still been getting it done. They battle, and I think the coaching is kind of showing up now. So, as long as we can hold our own and stop the run, which is what it seems like Philly's kind of really embraced with Jalen Hurts, is running the ball with a crap ton
Running the
and
ball.
and using Hurts'
Yes.
legs. So, I think
Number one, a rushing
if
team.
we can slow that down and force Hurts to pass more, I think that plays to our advantage some. But again, is he healthy? Like is he going to be 100% for this game?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, look, he was a game time decision all the way up to the night before the game.
Hmm.
That's why the Jets did not prepare for Gardner Minshew because all week Hurts was like, "I'm playing, I'm good, I'm playing," and then like the night before the game, a report came out that Minshew was starting. So now the Jets, hey, they stopped practicing Friday.
Hmm.
Like most NFL team, Friday is your last walkthrough to tweak a little things. They practice for Jalen Hurts the whole time. So when Gardner Minshew went in there Sunday morning, hey, we had the advantage.
Mm.
Yeah, and we had the advantage. But I'm not going to go all, and say Mansion Mania or anything like that. But it's easy. Like, okay, like you play offensive line, all right? If nobody saw your tape, know who you are, prepared for you, you probably could go out there and be a Taysom Hill. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
RPO to death, just dump off, and this like that. But it happened that Minshew has been in the league for 3 years already. So he's he started some games now.
Yeah.
So now,
Hmm.
not knowing who to prepare for, and then all of a sudden you are going up against this pocket passing guy, which is exactly what he is. Yes, he's not like
Hmm.
the a Tom Brady or a Big Ben just going to
He's
just
not a
stand back there
statue.
and get
Yeah.
hit. Yeah, exactly, man. He's not a statue, but still, he's mobile enough to get out out of the pocket. So I feel like that was advantage Eagles.
Hmm.
So, but Jalen Hurts was a game time decision all the way up to that Saturday night, Sunday morning to test it out.
Hmm.
But if it was game time decision, then he had 2 weeks off. Last week was our bye, and all signs are pointing to Jalen Hurts playing. So, how are y'all with mobile quarterbacks of this year?
Uh, we've been up and down. Like we played New York, and Daniel Jones killed us with the read option. So
Oh,
so
Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones, yeah. We allowed
Nice.
way too many keeps on the zone read, and either guys weren't doing their job. Like someone's supposed to play quarterback, someone's supposed to play running back, and someone wasn't doing their job. I think, or either that, or just we didn't scheme it up well enough or prepare for it. So I think they know going in that this is what they got to be ready for because, I mean, I've watched what Philly's been doing. They run a lot of the power read, counter bash. It's everything with a read type of option to it, just with some different, eye candy and wrinkles here and there. If they can zone in on that and keep Hurts from beating you like that, then they got a shot. But I don't feel like it's going to be any kind of, it's not going to be a one-sided game. I think it's going to be an ugly win for either side. I don't see.
Yeah.
I see this being a fist fight, just a brawl, and maybe not a lot of touchdowns being scored, but I could be wrong. But I feel like this is anyone's game for the most part, even though we got all these injuries and COVID stuff to deal with.
Look, man, hey, when it comes to division rivals, man, just throw the records away, just throw the head coaches away, just throw the quarterback. It doesn't matter who's in the game. It just happens to be, unless you are superb, like so much better than that team that you're going up against. Everything is lined up for you. Your offensive line is intact. Your quarterback is like, oh my God, yeah, hey, he's on fire this year. Your running back, your defense is top 10. But besides that, I had so many Giants content creator on this show the week we played them. I was their therapist. I was like, calm down. It's going to be okay. This is a divisional game. Divisional games are usually the toughest game. I don't care who you got to play, but divisional opponents, you play them day in, like year in and year out, twice a year, for like 10, 15, 20 years. And so they know what to at least get ready for. On top of that, they are watching what you did with the other teams, so they already know how to defeat you. Now they're trying to see, what other things are they doing? So that, it's easier to prepare for a divisional opponent than for any other opponent. The Giants game, the perfect example. I was like, do not sleep on the Giants. They should have beat the Eagles twice last year. We escaped because of Evan Ingram, a drop touchdown through his hands, and we escaped with that. So I went to this game trying to calm down the Giants. I'm like, calm down. Hey, it's a divisional game. Y'all should have been twice last year. Don't sleep on it. But I felt confident enough to say that we had the better team overall. Jalen Hurts, I consider, is better than Daniel Jones, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'd say that.
With our running game on fire, averaging over 200 yards a game the past 6 games. We went from number 29th to number 1 in 6 weeks because we was averaging over 200 a game. And we beat the number 1 rushing team and the Saints, the number 1 rushing team. So I went into this game, was like, okay, yes, it's a divisional opponent. At the same time, the Philadelphia Eagles won 1 game when they have scored less than 30. All the games they won, they had to put up 30 points. I will give my prediction later, but I'm just letting you know right now that the Eagles need to show up and show out because we cannot afford to lose this game. You know what I mean? So we about to see what both teams and coaching staff and franchise is about, because this could be a franchise changes moment, for the Eagles, because this might say, hey, it keep our player hopes alive. We automatically jump to the 7th spot. Y'all jump back to either 8th or 9th. So now, both franchises could go in different directions. Instead of us looking for a quarterback in the draft or free agent, and we could go on a run, possibly make the playoffs. Hey, if we could make the playoffs with this young core, without no free agents, with this, a first-year offense and defense, what could we do with the draft and the money? We got money to spend next year. So who knows where could this one playoff run get us into the future? Compared to y'all, if y'all lose, Heineken may not be the guy. Allen may not be the guy. Fitzpatrick, I'm likely 75% sure he's not the guy because he's that old. But hey, like I said, it could jumpstart one team and push the other team down.
Exactly.
And then who knows? By the time we play again 2 weeks from now, you might not have nothing to play for because your draft position might be impacted. So you might not even have nothing to play for.
Right. And you guys, you guys are in kind of a win-win situation either way. I feel like, if you lose, you still win. Like, you got all these draft picks coming up, and you got a lot of future and promise with that. Like, you got 3 first-round draft picks on your docket for this coming draft, all in the top 10 right now. So, it's looking good for you guys either way. So I
But
mean,
do you really want to pick 3 first-round picks and 3-4 years later try to pay 3 first-round picks?
I mean,
Like,
depends on who they are, I guess. But yeah, that'd be tough.
I mean, it's a hit or miss because right now, I think we have the 10th, 11th, and probably like 15, a 16 pick right now because
Okay.
Miami all of a sudden got hot. Stupid Miami. Hey, they got the same record as Eagles. So they're probably 10th, we probably 11th.
Colts
And
are
then the
winning though.
Colts.
Yeah.
And then the Colts are winning all of a sudden. So they're probably in the mids, teens and stuff like that. So I mean, are we really gonna get 3 bona fide franchise changing guys if we draft from 10 on below? Who knows? I would probably draft 2 and then trade 1, and try to get a first and a second the following year for that 1 first-round draft pick. If you want to move up and possibly get 2 first-round pick this year, and then we draft, a defensive end or a linebacker, a first-round draft pick, and go from there, because it's hard to pay 3 first round.
Yeah.
You
On the
see
plus side, though,
the
you
salary
have them
cap.
for 5 years at the same time to prepare for that. At the same time, you got the 4 years and then the 5th year option. I mean, that's a lot of time.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true. If when y'all lose, okay. We about to beat the bricks out of y'all. Look, okay. I mean, look, divisional opponents to me is the scariest game, regardless how you feel about them, regardless of your skill position. Dallas was so more balanced going into this game than the Washington football team. But then, besides the first half, they did squat. They built enough lead in the second half. They only put up 3 points. And Dallas beat the bricks out of the Philadelphia Eagles. So I can't really say, hey, y'all going to beat us the bricks out. Look, I'm just saying, hey, we need to win. 1 point, 2 points, I don't care. We just need to take care of business now, use the momentum to jumpstart our 3 more games that we have left. We're getting, yes, y'all 3 non-top 10, so we will be good. I mean, hey, look, you still got to find a way to pay them at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So you still have to find a way to pay them. All right, so look, your franchise quarterback, is he on the team? Like, I mean, because this past draft, y'all drafted a lot of defensive players. Y'all did not address the quarterback situation. Y'all brought in Fitzpatrick, whatever you want to call him. This offseason, hey, Aaron Rodgers might be in play. Russell Wilson might be in play. Deshaun Watson might be in play. I mean, last year, I think y'all had the firepower last year, but this year, I mean, do you see, depend how y'all finish this season? Depends, hey, y'all can make the playoff 10-7 and beat, I believe the 7th round will play the number 2 seed, whatever that may be. That may be the Bucks again, a rematch, the Cardinals, and whoever that could be. And so it depends how far y'all go with whatever quarterback that y'all install on Sunday against us and move forward 3, 4, 5 game a winning streak. So do you see y'all as about to look for a franchise quarterback, or do you see us saying, hey, look, we got a lot of other holes to fill? I mean, it wasn't offense that was holding us back. It wasn't defense. Maybe it's quarterback, or maybe it's on the defensive side. So, I mean, what's going on with our quarterback situation? What would you do if you do make the playoffs and probably advance past the first round?
If we advanced it, if we say we win out, I mean, I don't see that happening, but say we win out, yes, we increase our chances of one of these other quarterbacks wanting to play for us. But what's so weird to me is, Russell Wilson apparently in his latest report said he wants to play for the Giants of all teams. Like
New York, the Big Apple, man.
Yeah, it's a
his
big
wife.
Market. It's a big market, but why do you want to go with where Joe Judge is and Dave Gettleman is your GM? that seems like a
What?
horrible situation to go to.
Well, because the GM, the Giants GM is like 1 foot out the door. Matter of fact,
True.
1.5 feet out the door. He's been reported to get fired before he played the Eagles.
Mhm.
So I mean, he was like, I mean, the rumor was that he was about to get fired. During the offseason. But then, Joe Judge, if you have a veteran quarterback, he will have a lot of input, into your play calling, and into the offense. So I feel like with Barkley back there, with Galladay, with Ingram, with Sterling Shepard, I mean, they have talent on the offensive side now.
They do.
They probably have the second best talent in the NFC East on their side, but they dress, as a whole, the organization is trash.
He hates what's his situation in Seattle because the offensive line's terrible, and he'd be going to New York where the offensive line is just as bad, if not worse at times.
But the Giants do have 2 first-round picks.
That's true.
Because they did trade it away. Well, they traded down, and stuff like that. But how much would it cost to grab a Russell Wilson to bring him to the Giants?
It would take multiple draft picks. I mean, probably those first 2 draft picks that they got and then some change. But the thing with Washington is, and Ron, I think, has made it pretty clear. I mean, maybe he changes his mind, but even this past offseason, he says he doesn't believe in mortgaging the future for, a move like that. I don't see him making some blockbuster multi-first round draft pick trade to get Aaron Rodgers or to get Russell Wilson or Watson.
Look at that. Would you guys trade for Minshew? Come on, man. Hey,
we need trading within the division. We've done that before, and it's never worked out.
Yeah, but who's better right now? Is Minshew better than Daniel Jones? Well, no. Is Minshew? Yeah, Heineken, Allen, and Fitzpatrick.
I mean, I'd roll with Heineke over Gardner Minshew. Gardner Minshew's been doing it for 3 years, and he got kicked out of Jacksonville for it. He is what he is.
Yeah, but his talent wasn't the same, though. I mean, he never really had talent because Nick Foles went there. Hey, Nick Foles won a Super Bowl for the Philadelphia Eagles, right?
Yeah.
And signed this big contract at Jacksonville because he wanted to get paid, I guess. But at the same time, he really did not have a lot of talent. So he happened to get hurt the first game of the season, of course. All fragile Nick Foles. He got hurt the first game of the season. Minshew came in, and I mean,
I'd rather draft a guy like Sam Howell or Desmond Ridder and see what they can do before trading for a guy like Minshew. I think you guys got a good situation with Minshew as a backup. So, I wouldn't necessarily get rid of that.
Look, I agree with you. Look, I would keep Minshew because as far as the Philadelphia Eagles, right, I picked us to compete for the Super Bowl 2023. Imagine that this draft class and, the new coaching staff would get into tune and, the people that we drafted, the running back we have and Miles Sanders and the tight end we have and Goddard and Tyree Jackson, the offensive line, like when healthy, you might want to probably tweak every now and then, but we drafted so well in the trenches in the past couple of years. They had to find a way to gel together because our whole offensive line was hurt besides Kelsey. And so I feel like that we do have depth in that situation. And if we keep Jalen Hurts and build our defense and he improved in the offseason with his accuracy, because that's the only issue that Eagle fans have with Jalen Hurts. They fall in love with Minshew. He came in there, went for 20 for 25. But they forgot at Denver when Jalen Hurts was 11 for 13 at halftime. Like, they forgot that. You know what I mean?
That's how it always is. That's how it always is.
It's a short-term memory. So, I mean, that's the thing.
I mean, Heineke's took us on this 4-game winning streak and put us in the playoff spot right where we are, and has a bad game against Dallas, and all of a sudden it's he's not the guy anymore. And I don't necessarily thought he is the guy, and I'm being realistic at the same time, but it's just how fans are. You're always as good as your last game or what you do. So it's hard to be even keel and and calm and stayed logical at times. So, it's that same way for on the Washington side. Don't worry.
Yeah, I agree. But what would it cost to, for a Gardner Minshew? Would you give up a fourth round pick for him, for Gardner Minshew, and get rid of Fitzpatrick? Probably, I mean, Josh Allen might walk, or Heineken might walk, and have Minshew and Allen, or like, what would be a perfect situation if you would get Minshew from the Philadelphia Eagles for a fourth round pick or a fifth round pick?
Playing into your hypothetical.
Okay, yeah, please do. Please do.
I mean, I wouldn't throw more than a fourth at you guys for that, but really, in the grand scheme of things, I think we have our bridge quarterback. Well, it wasn't intentional. Like, we thought Fitzpatrick was going to be that guy. Like, we would go through this season with him, maybe have him for another season after that for whoever we drafted. But now he's got a hip injury that may force him to retire at this point at his age.
Yeah.
So we got Heineke under contract for another season. So I think you not necessarily roll into the next season with him as the starter, but he's there if you need him when you draft somebody. And if the guy you draft is not quite ready yet, then you got a guy that can hold it down until he is ready with Heineke. And then once that guy is ready, you got him on the bench that can come off the bench and win you a game if need be. So that's what I see happening. Ron's going to scout all the different quarterbacks out there. It's not a crazy good class, but I feel like there's a good number of them that have potential. So yeah, you really got to trust your scouting department there. I really like Sam Howell and Desmond Ridder personally, but we'll see how that plays out.
Okay, sure. All I've been hearing about was Pickett, and it seems like that he might be available because the Jets is not going to draft a quarterback because they got Zach Wilson, but the Detroit Lions might draft one because they are the worst team in the NFL right now. But Jared Goff is still young. Like, I mean, is it him? I mean, is it the defense? I mean, are you
They're in a
willing
weird
to?
situation.
Yeah, they are because he's still young, and they gave up some draft picks, right? To grab, to switch out Matthew Stafford.
Stafford, yeah.
And yeah, so they are in a bad situation, but we'll see. We will see, man. All right, so let's continue on. Let me see right here. Let's talk about your defense, man. All right, so if y'all were to win Sunday, I mean, like, what do your defense have to do on Sunday? Because I still believe that, yes, your offense put them in a bad situation, but just watching the game and being an Eagles fan, trust me, our defense was on the field like 38 minutes out of freaking 60. Like, they were constantly on the field, and we were losing games. Yeah. But at the same time, I mean, was it the play calling? That let Dak feel comfortable back there. How many times did he get sacked? Like one time or something like that?
One or two, I think.
Yeah, one or two times.
Well, technically like four, because he ran out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage, so it counted as a sack. And then he slid, I think, short of the line of scrimmage. That also counted as a sack. And then Jonathan Allen got one. I think Deron Payne got one. So technically four, but really it was just two.
Yeah, like the first half, man, like it's like that Dallas was getting whatever they wanted. It's so what do the Eagles have to do to repeat that same situation? Like, what was the issue? As far as your defense go or your offense go? Like, let's talk about the defense though, because I feel like that, like on your 4-game winning streak, it was your defense that was actually keeping y'all in this game and not your offense.
Definitely.
Because I seen Heineken numbers. Yeah, he was like 15 for 20, 20 for 25. But it wasn't for a lot of yards though. Man, it was a lot of
we ran the ball a lot
in the running game. Exactly, yeah. The running game.
Running game was really clicking during that 4-game stretch. So he didn't have to, play like Dak does normally, where he's throwing 50 times a game. But it was that would, I would say the play action pass is what really you guys could kill us with, make us really have to sell out and stopping the run, and then you got Hurts on a rollout
I like
hitting.
it.
I think play action is really where you guys can really get us. I wouldn't necessarily drop back too much. We're hurt. We got guys that aren't going to be out there or have a chance to not be out there.
Mm-hmm.
But I would just keep running the ball and hit us with play action here and there. Make us stop the run first, and then then you can open up things a little bit more once you got a lead. But if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Run the ball and hit us with play action, and I think you guys are in a good spot.
All right, look, hey, I like it because that's what we plan on doing. And running the ball and play action to Dallas Goedert, to Devontae Smith, maybe Rager. I mean, that's our weak link as far as
shot guy,
skill receiver. Huh?
He's your shot guy. The throw it deep, maybe on a post kind of guy.
It was Watkins, man.
Okay.
It was Quez Watkins, but now he's on that list. So I'm hoping that he could be ready, by Sunday. But right now, hey, look, don't sleep on JJ Arcega-Whiteside. He's been.
Is he good for you guys now? I thought he wasn't good.
I mean, look, he was our first round draft pick for a reason, right? I mean, I'm sorry, but we gotta give him an opportunity at least. And this is a perfect opportunity. Yes, the Eagles put Hightower on the they protected Hightower, try and bring him on maybe on Sunday, but who knows? But we'll see. If JJ, Rager, the two busts of the Philadelphia Eagles, the two wide receivers, instead of DK Metcalf and Justin Jefferson, we got JJ and Rager. You know what I mean? Perfect combination, but we'll see what happens. But so I think that they might play a bigger role, especially with JJ, because he kind of like blend in because they kind of make him a tight end, a blocking tight end, and they kind of leak out. So nobody expect him to go out. So maybe that might work to our advantage, especially in the red zone. Hey, who knows? But if I was Nick Sirianni, I would definitely play JJ or Arcega-Whiteside more than I would play Jalen Rager. That's just me. But Tia was like, what was your record prediction to start the season? Did you know?
I didn't really do one. I was expecting a pretty average season. I didn't expect a winning season. I didn't expect a losing season. I figured we'd be right where we are, really, right in the middle. That may be a safe answer, but I wasn't feeling the hype, so to speak. Because whenever we do feel the hype, this is what turns out to happen: is we stink it up and have to crawl our way out of it. So. About 6 or 7, 8 wins in that range is what I was thinking.
Yeah. Oh, wow. What? Yo, everybody had Joe winning at least 10 games, like the experts. Because the whole Ryan Fitzpatrick edition was like, yo, he is what y'all need. He could at least, last year, y'all won, 6 games? Last year, right? 7 games last. So he's at least good for 2 more games. So, yo, a lot of people had y'all winning the division at 9, 10 wins, and you had them at 6 and 7.
I mean,
the exact same record from the year before.
Look at the schedule. We played a tough schedule, especially early on. It's not a good schedule. It's one of the hardest ones in the league. I thought it was. There was one of the rankings, and it had us pretty high up there. But I'm always I'd rather be pleasantly surprised than let down and disappointed.
Yeah, disappointed.
So show me instead of me believe. Make me believe, and then I'll really believe it. But I felt like it was. Yes, we ended up winning that division, but it was a down year for all of us. Like even in that season, we were not that great. I mean, the defenses, the games that we played on defense where we looked really good were usually against bad quarterbacks, and the one we played Nick Mullins and
Nick Mullins, yes, our hero,
and Ben Roethlisberger. With Big Ben at where he is now, it's kind of a wild card of who you're playing. And then yes, we beat you guys last year, but I mean, we shouldn't have won that one. I think you guys kind of took the
Yes. Hey,
let off the
old Nate
brakes.
stuff fell. The best thing he ever did for Philadelphia Eagles was go in there and like try hard,
Mm-hmm.
but it was the easiest throw game in NFL history, and we
So
knew
yeah,
exactly what we were doing.
that's how I was. Just you show me. I expect middle of the pack right now. It's not going to turn. We're not going to flip this thing to a Super Bowl contender right away. So there's still a lot of holes, and I think that's really showing right now too. So
Okay.
it is what it is.
All right, Grandizer. Hey, what's up, my guy? Hey, he has a question for you. Which three Washington rookies have impressed you the most so far this season?
Sam Cosmi really impressed me when he was healthy. He's still out right now from his injury, but he had his rough game against Joey Bosa week 1 against the Chargers. But I mean, which tackle doesn't have a hard time against Joey Bosa?
Yeah.
I mean, since that game, he was really good. His I don't know how much you hold PFF grades in regard, but I mean,
Trash.
he was a highly rated pass blocker and run blocker. And I thought he passed the eye test too. So, he really impressed me. De'Ami Brown's been a disappointment. He hasn't really been a part of the offense. I'm trying to think other rookies. Jamin Davis, he was our first round draft pick. It's been a learning year for him. He's first year starter last year at Kentucky. He's just not had a lot of experience, and it's been very up and
Yeah,
down.
Kentucky too, though. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, Kentucky, to be a first round pick from Kentucky, just one. Yeah, it's kind of a push. Like,
yeah, I'm drawing a blank on some of the other rookies. Oh, John Bates has been pretty good. The tight end that we drafted later in the rounds. He's been a really good run blocker, and he's kind of helped out in that regard. He's been a big part of why we went on that 4-game winning streak, and he's gotten some good design screens and play action threat. So that's been a big help. And then Jarrett Patterson is another guy. We didn't draft him, but he was an undrafted rookie we picked up, and he made his way on the roster. He hasn't gotten a ton of touches either, but he's pretty reliable to get you some carries here and there to give Gibson a break. So not the greatest rookie class yet. I think there's maybe I'm drawing a blank on a couple of them, but I haven't been totally wowed, but I do like what we have with Sam Cosmi.
yeah. So, hey, shout out to Grandizer, man. Yo, he's my stat guy, man. Hey, he's always constantly just putting up the stats. But with all being said, the Washington football team lead the series 88-79 and 5 ties.
How about that?
Hey, how about that? How about that? So hopefully after Sunday, it'll be 88-80 and 5 ties. That one little win, it can make a big difference. But all right, so I know you have to go. So we're about to do this. All right, so we're about to get your 3 keys to victory. Like, what are 3 things that the Washington football team must do in order to defeat the Philadelphia Eagles on Sunday at the Link and go like 7-7, right? We both been 6-7, so yeah, 7-7, basically having a stranglehold on that 7 seed. And you see my headline, 7 seed on the line, because this is it. I mean, whoever wins this game this Sunday is in the driver's seat.
Yeah, I'd say we got to get back to running the ball effectively, take pressure off Heineke so he doesn't have to play hero ball the whole time. We got to stop the run. We have to stop the run and make Hurts more of a drop back passer, which I don't think is his strong suit. Yes, he can throw it, but when he can run and make plays with his legs as a passer, then he's playing his best game. So if we can force him out of that, we're in a good spot, and then force some turnovers. Get the ball back to the offense. Let's play that keep away game again, like we've been doing. Sustain long drives, and then we're in a good situation. That's what they got to do, in my opinion.
All right, look. In order for the Philadelphia Eagles to get in that 7th spot, we need to run the ball. That is the strength of this team. The past 6-7 weeks, we are setting records in our own franchise. So this is what we have to do. We need to run the ball. We need to dominate the trenches. But at the same time, Jalen Hurts, he needs to make plays with his legs, with his arms. I don't care because Gardner Minshew went in there and wow, and wow the Eagle fans, and who know how long his leash is. So that's what I'm saying. So even though I feel like the Eagles should give Jalen Hurts this whole season, but that's only me. But half the fan base is already split. Howie Roseman already just came out on record said, "Hey, he is not sold on Jalen Hurts." I mean, they are in odds with the owner. So yeah, Jalen Hurts have to make plays. Run the ball, make plays, and my last key is get pressure on whoever is back there. Because I really don't think it's going to be Heineken. I really do not think it's going to be Heineken. I really think that it's going to be Allen. Y'all about to pull the exact same thing the Philadelphia Eagles did to the Jets. Wait till Saturday night and say, you know what? Heineken not feeling so well. We about to put Kyle Allen in, and now we wasn't ready. If I'm an offensive coordinator, if I'm a defensive coordinator, my mindset is prepare for both. Use Wednesday to prepare for Heineken. You faced them last year, I believe. So now just use, a day and a half to prepare for, Allen, and see what happened. Because you have to be ready. You have to be ready. You cannot be caught slipping, especially with 4 games left, and this might decide the 7th seed. I would not be falling asleep on who's starting for the Washington football team, even though you keeping a straight face. But I really think that you feel like that Heineken would not be ready. But it's okay. Don't tell me your secret because Nick Sirianni might be watching this stream, so that's okay. But all right, so hey, your score prediction and who wins on Sunday. Surprise me and don't say the Washington football team.
No, I don't.
Wait.
I don't think Washington's going to win. I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be low scoring. I think it's going to. I'm going to say 17-14 Philly.
Whoa! You did surprise me. Yo, I didn't see that coming. I did not see that coming.
There's too much going against us right now. We got 10 guys that are not even hurt but are out because of COVID. So it's. I'd be very surprised if we win on Sunday.
But don't you think that at your back it is against the wall? Nobody expects y'all to win. Y'all going to Philly, and now the Bennett brothers, and y'all come out like boom, and y'all win, or you be like nah, and that's so cliche. We ain't gonna do this.
I think we're gonna give a good fight. I don't think we're gonna get blown out, but I think it's gonna be a tough, close one that we'll fall short on. I think you guys will pull it out.
Okay, all right. Look, I got the feel. Look. The Philadelphia Eagles only won one game without scoring over 30 points. That was against the Panthers. Every game we have, our 5 out of 6 games, we had to put up 30 points. So I have to say 30 is my magic number. 30-17 Eagles. Okay. I feel like that, we get either a sack, fumble, return, or something like that. And then we just grind out the clock. Your defense is on the field for like 40 minutes out of 60 minutes. You know what I mean? So it's something like that going to happen, but we have to put up 40. I'd be surprised if we 30. I'd be surprised if we win without putting up 30 because we only won 1 game so far, and that we had to get 3 turnovers, 2 interceptions by Big Play Slade, and 1 by Steven Nelson. So, hey, man, look, I appreciate you, man. One last time, man. Hey, just tell them a little bit about you and where they could find you at.
You can find me on Twitter at Robbie Duncan OL. Obviously, I talk a lot of Washington team, but at the same time, I do. I'm pretty big on pop culture in general. I'm excited for Spider-Man coming out on Thursday.
Yes. But, the universe has opened.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see if he could, defeat everybody or throw him back or what's going to happen.
It'll be very interesting. I'm staying off Twitter until then, so I'll retweet this when it's posted, but I'm going to stay off Twitter because I don't want to get spoiled. But yeah, find me on Twitter at Robbie Duncan OL, and then I'm a contributor to the Washington Rap podcast. You can find us on pretty much anywhere where you find podcasts. The Washington Rap WRAP, and we do it on YouTube as well if you'd like to watch the streams instead of listening. So that's where you can find me.
And tell them who you play with. That's on like
Oh
that's
yeah,
in
yeah.
the NFL.
I played with Heineke. If you didn't hear me earlier say that, I played with Heineke at Old Dominion University. I was his one of his offensive linemen from that 2011 to 2012 span. So it's pretty cool to be able to watch him. Like I said before.
Yeah, hey, look, and he played for our long snapper.
Yeah, that's right. Rick Lovato. I forgot about that.
See, I mean, hey, yo, this guy, hey, for all you Eagles content creator, if you watching, hey, go hit him up because we are going to play them again in a couple of weeks, and he's always open to do more live streams and stuff like that. And even next year, hey, we play these guys twice a year, every year. So if you're an Eagles content creator or if you're a fan, period, hey, just go check out his, his channel and his Twitter and stuff like that. And just hit him up and just talk smack. Just troll him after we win. I don't care. Hey,
I can take it.
You know what we do. Huh?
I can take it. It's fine.
Yeah. Hey, we are the city of brotherly love. We show everybody some love that come on our channel, regardless who's the content creator that's hosting. We show everybody love, man. That's what we do. Even though other fans got some bad opinions about us, but we know how we roll. It doesn't matter what they think. It's all matter what we think. But if you're new to my channel, please hit that like and subscribe button to help this channel grow. And I will be doing a play-by-play this Sunday for those who cannot get the game. If you're not in the DMV, the game probably is not going to be on. But guess what? I will be doing a play-by-play every Sunday, even this upcoming Sunday. So please hit that subscribe button. As always, go Bird. Beat